Sup? Yeah, it's been a while. More so 5 months after the pinball episode. I'm gonna tell you some good news, and say that we finally finished the long-awaited Turok episode after being stuck in development hell. Before I eventually start production on the season finale known as Maximo, we're gonna take a look at the previous episodes to give you an update on those. We have a game that was dumped, a game I've already made an update video about, a game that had a lot more stuff inside, one that's disappointing, and one surprise that was very recent. BattleBots is our third episode, and the most damning thing of all was that no one told me that the game was dumped. I only heard the news back in December when Blame It On George made a video about lost media found during that year. Yeah, this was dumped a month after the episode was aired, so exclusive footage was only temporary. Hey, I'm not mad about it. I should have known better. I've played it myself and the game is nearly complete too. Yeah, it's actually nice to finally play the game after all these years, and if this was released back then, it's the best Robo Combat game out there, beating the best Robot Wars game by a quarter mile. Yeah, this is the update video I mentioned. To give you the whole recap, I made the Revolt episode about the game's cancelled Xbox and Game Boy Color ports. I wasn't happy with the main episode as I couldn't get any footage of either of them, and made a tangent chapter why Xbox emulation kinda blows, despite the emulator dev's best efforts. In the update video, I managed not only get the game running on Xbox, but got my hands on the Game Boy Color port to show you the game for the first time. How did I get the Xbox ROMs running? Convert them to X-ISOs, and run on XEMU. That's it really. Just you wait until I talk about next season, where I revisit Revolt, but this time, the main game. Forced Evolution released not only the shareware version, but the coveted E3 demo too. Revolt, on its own, has a lot of demos and beta builds to talk about. I may need to transfer the contents from my laptop to my rig to show you all about it. If this is an episode about Rayman 2 as a whole, I could mention the source code leak that mostly contained Rayman Raven Rabbit's DS assets, and unused Rayman animations. However, like Revolt, we're talking about a specific version, which is the 2D Rayman 2. No, there's no build of the 2D Rayman 2 being dumped recently. However, there's Ray Carrot, who makes a lot of beta Rayman content. Recently on Twitter, he got both the Hook Fist and the Fist Slam ability working, and it's pretty cool. He also stated that there are some more Rayman 2 code that exists, but the sprites associated are missing. This could mean that there are some crazy Rayman abilities that no one has seen before inside of this very build. Inside of Rayman 2 on PS1. This rabbit hole could go very deep. Now here's the thing that would straight up disappoint you. So there was a fan of the show under the username Star93, and she managed to secure a copy of the Gwen Stefani version of Malice on PS2, and did a 4-hour livestream on it. The most unfortunate thing was that I didn't save the video, and a while after, Star93 disappeared. We could have got some higher quality footage without the watermarks, but thanks to this dumbass you're listening to, that livestream is lost forever. Preservation is king, I said. Ugh. However, I did not disappoint you completely. So remember that time I talked about the Xbox emulation and trying to play certain games is almost impossible to run on an emulator? Well, to recap on the Malice episode, I tried to get it running on both XEMU and CXPX Reloaded, but both of them couldn't run this game properly. XEMU doesn't boot, and CXPX Reloaded sometimes could pass the title screen, but the gameplay is this black screen with only the HUD showing. Well, I decided to grab myself an actual Xbox, a modded one, just to play these games. It's not arrived as we speak, but I already got the capture card and one of those converter boxes, not those expensive ones. All I need is a crossover cable, but I'm not sure how this would be feasible. I'll figure it out soon enough. Maybe we'll get a Malice update video where I show you gameplay. The last one is the most recent. So I talked about Shantae's cancelled games. The 32-bit one, the Game Boy Advance, DS, and the elusive plug-and-play iteration. The Game Boy Advance sequel had a lot going, to the point there's a demo being played by the devs back in 2015. No, that build wasn't dumped. Out of all of them, the one thing nobody expected was WayForward doing something that's completely based. They're gonna finish the GBA sequel after 20 years.
I have a job to do.
They showed off some more Shantae Advance goodness, and even the multiplayer in action. Yeah, I'm surprised they decided to get this thing done. Not only that, they're gonna make the Shantae game like how they wanted to, without any company restrictions, thanks to limited run games. They plan on releasing this sometime in 2024 on Game Boy Advance, so I keep an eye on that. Yeah, I have an unmodded OG GBA sitting in my room for a long time. I haven't touched it, but this will be a great addition to my tiny GBA collection. And yes, I'm going to play this. Yeah, this is the end of the Season 1 update. The rest of the games doesn't have an update, so that's why it's quite short. Now here's a recommendation. There's this YouTube channel called NoClip, who does video game documentaries. They made a side channel where they release some high quality clips, digitized from VHS or elsewhere. It's a great resource to talk about some lost media, especially Nintendo content if you want to see that. And that's all for now. I got some Maximo to make. And I'll see you later. Bye.